Hi everyone, today I'll be showing you how to install the WordPress for Unity timers extension. First of all, because it is an extension, you have to install the WordPress for Unity bridge first. So let's go ahead and install that now. Just find it in your asset store library and just drag it. Select it from there, or just drag it in from your hard drive if you have it there. Right, once that's done, we can just go ahead and install the actual timers asset as well. And that's it. So once that's done, drill down into your folders and look for the folder called WordPress plugins. Inside there you'll find, just right click on that and go to the folder where it's placed. You'll see the two plugins there. You only need to do this once, so if you've already done this, don't worry about it. It's installed for all future kits, but otherwise just install it now. So go to your WordPress website, go to plugins and click on add new and upload plugin. Now just go back to that folder that you just opened up and just drag the plugins into there, but remember to do login first. All the other plugins are reliant on it, so if it is not installed already, then the plugins are going to give it a whole bunch of errors and stuff. So just remember, do the login first. Once you've done that, the rest you can install in any order. So just click on activate plugin, wait for that to finish. There we go, first one is there, all the others can now be installed. So let's go to the plugins, upload plugin again, and let's install the timers plugin. Just drag it there, click the OK, and wait for it to show up, then click OK again, and now it's installed. There we go. You'll see that the Unity bridge has now got an icon on the left hand side, and if you open that up, you can see there's the normal login stuff, and here's the timer stuff. There's currently nothing there because we don't have any timers yet. But if you go down to all games, you'll see I already have a game installed, and it's got ID number 16. Just remember that for later. We're going to need that value a little bit later. Alright, back into Unity. Now we're going to create a new demo scene. Well, actually we already have an open scene, but yeah, I'm just going to create a new scene anyway. Don't know why. Anyway, so it's created. So now first thing we need to do is we have to add the login system to our scene. So we're going to drag over the prefab with the canvas, and on there the first thing you need to do is actually give it the URL to where you're hosting your plugins. For more information on that, just see the WordPress for Unity bridge tutorial video. Now we're going to create a new script, and I'm just going to call this demo video script. Yeah, that sounds about great. Alright, so now we're going to open that up and just drag that onto anything. This is not really it can be on anything, so we're just going to put it on camera. It's a very simple script you'll see just now. So yeah, now we can just open it up. Now we'll see that it's on there. Oh yeah, and a very important thing that I've missed is you have to give it the URL to where your files are stored, but you also need to tell it what game you want to use. In our case, we're going to use game 16. That is what connects Unity and WordPress. So then tell it which one to work with. So 16 is very important there. Alright, now we're inside the script. First we've got to start by using the MyBad Studios namespace, and now we can get started. First we're going to create a new timer component. We're just going to call it timer to keep it simple. And yeah, let's start with the initialization code. This will later have to be moved out of start, but just to get going, we're just going to do it in start for now. So the first thing we're going to do is create the actual timer by placing it onto a game object. In this case, it's going to go onto the main camera, because that's where you place the script. Like I said, it doesn't matter where now, because this has no GUI component attached to it. Okay, so now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set the initial max timer. that says how long it takes to go from one point to the next. In this case, we're saying it's going to take 5 seconds to go from 0 to 1 to 3 to 4, and we're going to say that this timer should only have 3 points. In the case of a tomato, that would be just sprouting, halfway done and finished. And we're going to start from 0 so that we can go through all 3 states of that tomato growing. So max timer, max value, and then initial starting value. Those are the only 3 things you really need to set. You can also set a name, and if you don't, it's going to default to energy. But yeah, you can call it anything you like. So next, we're actually creating an event to say every time the timer reaches 0, call a function. Then in our case, we're not going to do much. We're just going to say, show something to say that this has happened. So we're just going to print off the default value, or the current value. You can use the value that you received as a parameter, but in this case, I'm going to demonstrate getting the value from our timer itself, just to show that the two do actually match. So yeah, there we go. And with that, our code is basically done. The only thing now is that you can't actually do it like this, because you have to make sure that you're actually logged in, so that you know who's the person playing, get his values. And so we need to do this after login has already completed. So for that, we need to turn this initialization function into another function, actually for initialization, and then actually initialize it via the event do this via the event that triggers during login. Right after it's succeeded, it'll call this function then. There we go, we're almost finished. Just one little bug. There we go. And that's it. That's all the code. Now remember, you can do all this in the inspector. You don't have to do it via code. But for this demo, I'm just showing you how to do it via code. Okay, now I need an event system in order to hold on, where's the event system? Yeah, there we go, good stuff. And now we're done, we can hit play. Now, if we hit play here, I accidentally did this earlier, and I already created this timer, so it's already set to maximum. So if you go onto the website, you can now actually see, if you go to the timer tab, it'll show you, look, the maximum value is 3, you currently have a value of 3, so there's nothing left to do, the timer's already at its max. But you can obviously update the timers here on the server. So let's say, for example, we want to make the maximum about 13. Okay, so now we only have 3 of 3, but we now made the maximum 13. So now when we stop and we hit play again, you will see that it will continue from 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. You know how counting works. And 5 seconds later, it's going to be 7. There we go. So that's working fine. Now if you go back here, and we're currently at 7 if you remember, but the website hasn't updated, but the server has. So if you look on the server, it knows that it's currently at 9. But now let's change that back to 3. You go back to Unity and see what happens there. It says, okay, I'm currently at 10, but wait, no, the server says 3, 4, and now it's going to go down to 5. So the server is always up to date. Even if it changes on the Unity end, or if it changes on the server end, the server is always up to date. And now I deleted it completely. When I start now, it's going to start again, creating it first, and then starting from 0, and then go to 1, and 2, and 3, and then it'll stop. And that's it. That's simple.